This has got to be the biggest mover of this week. And we're talking about none other but the Bitcoin, the father of all the cryptos. You're welcome to another video today. And we're looking at the BTC, the Bitcoin, the father of all the cryptocurrencies. And we're going to be doing a top-down analysis approach, a quick one, just to give you heads up on what has been happening this year. Because this year, we have seen some rather bullish move, and I'm sure nobody would argue with that. But the truth now is that is the bullish move going to continue in the second half of the year? Because in a few days from now, the first half is going to be over, Q2 is going to be over, and then we're going to start with Q3. So a quick look at the monthly. Now, if you have a look at what we have in front of us here on our charts, right, you can see the monthly and how it has been playing out right from the very get-go. And of course, it has some levels. It's all about the levels. We have some levels here. This was the key level here of resistance that ended up turning to support. This was the support that even started this build up right from ending of last year 2022. And then also we had this here as this top, and then it acted as a double top. You notice that even though we had this breakout over here, it never closed. So you can see the wicks that punched out, but then it closed back in to show you that sellers were more than determined over here to take it back down, which they did. They took it back down to this area here of support, of demand, and it actually here as support demand for a bit, but then later broke out over here. And if you look at the fib level, if you're a fib retracement trader, you notice that the most important area is like 56.1.8, but then it ended up smashing that area and getting to this area of new support where it acted as support and then pushed higher. Now, it pushed higher back to this area. Now, what is interesting now is that this is from the monthly time frame. If we drop down to the next time frame, which is the weekly, things start to get clearer. So this is the weekly over here, and wow, now look at this also. Remember we talked about this as the former resistance, and then acted as support, as you can see. And then we said towards the end of last year, 2022, as you can see from August, September period, it said to make his, you could call this a pullback as well. Make this a pullback, call this a pullback of this move over here. So at times when traders say, oh, it is bullish now, at times it could easily just be a pullback. But this year, quite all right, we can say that the Bitcoin has been bullish. And I'm going to show you some more, especially when we get to the daily time frame. So this is also a pullback here of this move, and you can even add a Fibonacci to the mix. Adding a Fibonacci from here all the way down will tell you that yes, indeed, it needs to pull back probably to like 38.2 or even 50 or 61.8, whatever the case might be. But then you also make sure that when you are doing this, you also add your support, resistance, supply, demand into the mix. Remember from the monthly, here was what? Here was demand, support, the same thing here, and then the same thing here. And on the flip side, this area should, I repeat, this area should act as what? It should act as resistance and drop. And it actually did over here based on this flag pattern, right? Based on this bearish flag pattern, it actually acted, but then came out to bounce off that same trend line here, and then it's pushing higher. But as it's pushing higher, is it going to get back to this trend line? Is it going to break out, or is it just going to get halfway and then turn down and tumble? This is rather interesting because I know a lot of traders will be screaming, buy and hold, buy and hold. That seems to be the major thing I hear when it comes to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency traders, buy and hold. But, well, I'm sorry, I feel they don't really understand the dynamics of the cryptocurrency or even trading, to say the least. But I digress. This is not to form, if as a form of argument or whatever, but we all trade based on what we see. But I feel a lot of new traders are not even seeing, but they're just talking, right? So this is what we have on the weekly. Now, crossing over to the daily, where things start to get a bit more interesting. Aha, voila. These are the areas that we've been talking about earlier as the demand and so on. And then this was some other areas over here. You can see resistance, resistance. We had this big, massive pin bar that failed, right? You'd have been expecting that this would have been what would have triggered that sell all the way down. But over here, it didn't break out, and then it took out stop losses for those that entered aggressively here. And then what happened? This area that was resistance later turned to support. So this is what we have for this year. This is what the year has given us so far, where the price first of all went down and then started to push higher. This was a pullback, by the way, because this was the beginning of the year. You can see from January, it's like January area where the market started, and then from here it took off, right? So you can also use your separators to have a look at when the market started for this year, 2023, and that was from here. Here is 2022, here is 2023. You can see we had a strong bullish move all the way, and it continues with a bullish run. But I'm showing you this here as a but because as a trader or as an analyst or whatever, you need to be able to understand both sides of the coin. Where do the buyers want to buy and where do the sellers want to sell? The sellers in this Bitcoin are here. This for me is the last line of defense. This supply area here is the last line of defense. And this is going to be very, very crucial. You had some big days in June showing the big bullish move. You could call it a vertical move, vertical push to the upside as well. But now you can see it is stalling here. Yesterday we had this big, massive bullish candle. And then today too, we're having this one as well. Now, guys, do not be bothered about the color because some of you might be saying, why is your candle going up red? Why is the candle going down green? Right? I do that on purpose just to explain to you that it's not about the colors, but it's about the direction. Heiken Ashi, all the colors are the same, like green, right? And you can also make your colors the same, or you could use black and white, and use purple and indigo, or whatever color you desire. So it is not about the color, but rather it's about the direction, right? So here is the area that I am most interested in if you want to sell. If this fails, then it's going back to this top over here, and then it is left to the market, right, to decide whether it's going to break out from this top here or to what is going to form a sort of double top and then drop. But this is my major area for sellers to come in and then to show themselves if they truly want to take the price back down and give the bulls a run for their money. Okay, so this is from the daily, right? And then we can also quickly switch over to the 4 hours. The 4 hours here, we had this nice trend line, and then it broke out. As it broke out, this is the area that you'd have lowered for price to retest. And of course, you could also do a fib. I'm very big when it comes to fib. Fib all the way to the highest now. You can see this area matches with like the 50 retracement area. So we should be expecting a pullback very soon. I'm going to explain to you why I said we should be expecting a pullback very soon. Here is the hourly, and from this hourly, this week, I'm going to show you this week. This is this week's information. Today is Wednesday. This is Wednesday, W, yesterday, Tuesday, and then Monday. So this week from here, from this point, has been extremely bullish all the way to this point. Now, the question for this week now is, how much higher can price go? I repeat, for this week that is, how much higher can price go? And if you look very well, right, let me just clean this up because we're going to be running up with this video. If you look very well, you have a sort of divergence. This is clearly a bullish run. You have a sort of divergence over here. If you are a CT trader, you should understand what I mean by divergence. And you can say also that, oh, this is overbought for this last few days. As it is overbought, you have divergence. This is the area to look forward to bring it back down. And you can see there's something here. What do we have here? You have a sort of rising what? A rising flag pattern, right? And then if you cross over to the 15 minutes, remember we said we're going to be doing from the higher time frames all the way down. We said from the monthly, now 15 minutes is where we're going to stop. If you want, you can continue to 5 minutes. 1 minute will be a bit too dangerous for me, right? And for a lot of traders as well. So stay clear of some certain time frames if you do not understand them, if you don't know how to control them. So this is the rising flag you can see that we talked about on the hourly. Now we can see it much better here. Naturally, this one should be giving us some sort of entry here. If you got an entry here, fine. If you haven't, wait to see whether you can get a price action candlestick trigger here, or rather you wait for it to go back, break this, and then retest. You get another one here and then drop further down. My question still remains, for this week, how much higher can the Bitcoin go? There needs to be a point of exhaustion, even if it's temporary. I'm not saying this move is going to reverse the entire uptrend, no, but there needs to be a sort of retracement, and price tends to move based on retracement. Even the smart money, professional money, they need to reload. So they take the profits and then wait for it to drop and then they reload again. So this is what I have for you here. And I hope this video has been helpful. And if you have any questions, as usual, feel free to ask. I also want to say that if you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. If you have a question, comment below, and give the video a thumbs up. Share it. Let others take advantage of this, because trust me, if this bearish move, this major bearish move should start, and then you miss out on it, and then you come back and you watch this video, you will be pained. Thank you guys. It has been a good one. Enjoy the rest of the day, and God bless. Cheers.